This poem comes from a sequence called Welsh Espionage, and it's based on the circumstances of how I learnt to speak English, aged 2 1/4. Welsh was the mother tongue, English was his. He taught her the body by fetishist quiz, father and daughter on the bottom stair. Dy benelyn yw elbow, dy wallti yw hair, chin yw dy endi, head yw dy ben. She promptly forgot, made him do it again. Then he folded her dwrn and, calling it fist, held it to show her knuckles and wrist. Let's keep it from Mam as a special surprise. Lips a gwefusau, llygaid our eyes. Each part he touched in their secret game, thrilled as she whispered its English name. The mother was livid when she was told, "We agreed no English till 4 years old." She listened upstairs, her head in a whirl. Was it such a bad thing to be Daddy's girl? These poems are all from a sequence called Zero Gravity, which I wrote when my cousin, Joe Tanner, went up with NASA to help repair the Hubble Space Telescope. At the same time, my sister-in-law was dying of cancer and the Hale-Bopp comet appeared. So this sequence turned into a meditation really about travel and absence. The first poem is about the last night before the launch of the shuttle, when all the close family members of the astronauts come together. Last suppers, I fancy, are always widescreen. I see this one in snapshot. Your brothers are rhymes with you and each other. John has a shiner from surfing. Already we've started counting time backwards to 0. The shuttle processed out like an idol to its pagan pad. It stands by its scaffold, being tended and blessed by priestly technicians. You refuse to feel sad, can't wait for your coming wedding with speed out into weightlessness. We watch you dress in your orange spacesuit, a Hindu bride, with wires like henna for your loveliness. You carry your helmet like a severed head. We think of you as already dead. Thousands arrive when a bird's about to fly, crowding the causeways. Houston, weather is a go and counting. I pray for you as you lie on your back facing upwards. A placard shows local, shuttle and universal time. Numbers run out, 0 always comes. Main engines are gimbaled and I'm not ready for this, but clouds of steam billow out sideways and a sudden spark lifts the rocket on a collective roar that comes from inside us. With a sonic crack, the spaceship explodes to a flower of fire on the scaffold stamen. We sob and swear, helpless, but we're lifting a sun with our love's attention. We hear the shuttle's death rattle as it overcomes its own weight with glory, setting car alarms off in the keys, and then it's gone out of this time zone into the calm of black, and we've lost the lemon dawn your vanishing made. At the viewing site, we pick oranges for your missing light. The second time the comet swung by, the knife went deeper. It hissed through the sky like phosphorus on water. It marked a now, an only coming once, a thisness we knew we'd keep forgetting. Its vapour trails mimicked our voyage along ourselves, our fire with each other, the endless cold which surrounds that burning. Don't be fooled by fireworks. It's no accident that leave fails but still tries to rhyme with love. What is her vanishing point? Now that she's dead, but still close by, we assume she's heard our conversations. Out of sight? Out of mind? On her inward journey, she's travelled beyond the weight of remembering. The G-force lifts from her labouring chest. Forgetting's a gift of lightness. She's sped vast distances already. She's shed her many bodies. Cancer, hope, regard, marriage, forgiving. Get rid of time and everything's dancing. Forget straight lines, all's blown away. Now's honey from the bees of night, music from the bees of day. One day, feeling hungry, I swallowed the moon. It stuck like a wafer to the top of my mouth, dry as an aspirin. It slowly went down, showing the gills of my vocal cords, the folded wings in my abdomen, the horrible twitch of my insect blood. Lit from inside, I stood alone, dark to myself, but could see from afar the brightness of others who had swallowed stars. The Flaggy Shore. Even before I've left, I long for this place. For hay brought in before the rain, it stooks like stanzas. For glossy cormorants that make metal eyes and dive like hooks, fastening the bodice of the folding tide, which unravels in gardens of Carrageen. I walk with the ladies who throw stones at the surge and their problems. Don't answer the phone in the ringing kiosk. Look, in the clouds hang pewter promontories, long bays whose wind-indented, silent coasts make me homesick for where I've not been. Quicksilver headlands shoot into the night, till distance and the dying of the day dulls steel and vermilion to simple lead, blown downwind to the dark, then out of sight. This poem is part of a detective novel about who killed the Welsh language, and it's part of my consideration of what actually happens when a language dies in relation to the natural world. What's in a name? Today, the wagtail finally forgot that I once called it Sigildy-gut. It didn't give a tinker's toss, kept right on rooting in river moss, no longer Musugo, relieved perhaps that someone would be noticing less about its habits. Magpie's fear of men lessened as we'd lost one means, the word pioden, of keeping track of terrorist birds out in the back. Lleian Wen is not the same as Smew because it's another point of view, another bird. There's been a cull. Gwylan's gone, and we're left with gull and blunter senses till that day when swallows, like Gwynol, might stay away. This poem is spoken by a poet who's in custody for the murder, suspected murder of her mother tongue. Mother tongue. I started to translate in '73 in the schoolyard, for a bit of fun to begin with, the occasional fuck for the bite of another language's smoke at the back of my throat, its bitter chemicals. Soon I was hooked on whole sentences behind the shed, and lessons in Welsh seemed very boring. I started on print, Jeeves and Wooster, Dick Francis, James Bond in Welsh covers. That worked for a while until Mam discovered Jean Plaidy inside a Welsh concordance one Sunday night. There were ructions. A language, she screamed, should be for a lifetime. Too late for me. Soon I was snorting Simenon and Flaubert. Had to read much more for any effect. One night I OD'd after reading far too much Proust. I came to, but it scared me. For a while I went Welsh only, but it was bland and my taste was changing. Before too long I was back on translating, found that 3 languages weren't enough. The ch in German was easy, Rilke a buzz. For a language fetishist like me, sex is part of the problem. Umlauts make me sweat. So I need a multilingual man, but they're rare in West Wales and tend to be married already. If only I'd kept myself much purer with simpler tastes, the Welsh might be living. Detective, you speak Russian, I hear, and Japanese. Could you whisper some softly? I'm begging you, please.